Hi everyone, I bought this handbrake from Amazon. It's the name of it is CNRAQR. That's CNRAQR. And the problem I was having with this machine is I'm racing along, having a good run, and all of a sudden I lose control of the car. I crash, and there's nothing I do. Brake, gas pedal, steering wheel, nothing works all of a sudden. So I noticed that this USB connector was a little bit loose, and the least little vibration or shock would actually send me into being out of control. So I'll show you what the fix is. If you're having trouble with your handbrake that you got from Amazon or wherever, this USB connector right here might be your problem. And what I had to do is, on the end of it, there's a gap, and you have to close that gap. So I had to take I'm sorry, I don't have any other way to do this. So I took a pair of pliers and just closed it down just enough to make it tight, but not so tight I couldn't get it on. So you want to squish it down just enough to close that opening, so that when you do attach it to your handbrake, it's a lot tighter and it won't wiggle. This USB connector is pretty close to the handbrake. You don't want to bump that while you're driving. If you do, you'll disconnect your steering wheel, brake, gas pedal, clutch, and all that stuff. Handbrake will be all disconnected. So make sure this has a very snug fit. And the same thing for all your other cables. Make sure they're all nice and tight and have a snug fit. It has an on and off switch located on the top of it. When you get up in the morning to play, or when you do start to go on your simulator again, you have to switch it to the on position. And once you do switch to the on position, you have to press the O button on your steering wheel at the same time. That's this button right here. So on switching on first. Then you're going to hold the pin button down. There's a pin on the inside of the controller of the handbrake. It's located right inside of here. I'll see if I can get a picture of it. And for those of you who have hooked this up, after you got it hooked up properly, that means this wire is going. You run the wire from the USB to the steering box here. And once you've done that, your startup procedure is going to be that you power your unit up. Make sure that your setting is on PS4 if you have a G29 wheel. And once you turn the power on and let the wheel cycle, what you're going to do is hold this button down. It's very tiny. It's very hard to see. There's a little button. I don't know if you can make it out in the video, but it's right there. A really tiny button where it's lit up. Push that button down. And at the same time, you're going to hold down the O button, and you're going to see a light flash 9 times. So tiny button, you have to push this down. I don't know if you can see it. It's very small. It's located right over there. It's a little tiny button. You're going to reach in, push it down till you see 9 flashes. Let's see if it'll do it. Now it's synced up. And at the same time you're doing that, you got to push down the 0 on your steering wheel. So use the light here. Press down the... You're going to push that little button down I showed you, and you'll be pushing the 0 button down all at the same time. And that will sync your wheel back up the PlayStation again. And you have to do this every time you turn off your PlayStation. You have to do this. There's a little gap in the connector here, the USB connector, that space. And what you have to do is smash this down and make it fit tighter so it doesn't move at all while it's plugged into your handbrake. And so what I had to do is, I'm doing this all with one hand, so that's why it's a clumsy video, is I took a pair of pliers and I gently crushed it down just enough where it's super snug when I plug it in to the handbrake unit. And so far it seems to be working a lot better. I haven't had a problem with me going out of control and losing control of the car. In other words, it hasn't disconnected or had a faulty connection since I've done this. I've been using this handbrake with the Sony PlayStation, and the simulator I'm using is WRC 24.